Hey family, how you guys doing today? It's us again, Just People, Mokonzi, and
Shadia, hi.
hey. Thank you guys for joining us again for another one today. We have something great, juicy, wonderful to discuss again. As you guys know on our platform, it's just people talking to people, by the people, for the people. So on this platform, it's not about haters, it's not about lovers, but it's all about love. And we speak out of our hearts, out of our minds, our opinions. And we just, hoping that we can allow other people to see things differently and also connect with people that may be feeling the same or thinking the same to know that they're not alone as well. So with no further ado, let me now let you guys know about what we are talking about today. So our subject today, drum roll, is going to be on affirmative action. And we're again, because we're just in the beginning stages of our little conversations, videos, and sort of shows. We're only going to touch the surface right now. So for those of you that want us to go deeper, do not worry. Do not worry. It is coming. Right now, we're just kind of working the kinks and so on and so forth. Looking to also get monetized and wanting to connect with the world. So, but as we move forward, we will most definitely be adding more in-depth information and talks, so that other people can know more about a certain subject and not just the surface of the subjects. So hold on, don't get mad, don't get too happy, don't be like, I'm needy. We're coming, we'll be there. And I'm gonna let Shadia also say some words if she needs to, but again, affirmative action.
All right.
Please.
Okay, so it's my turn to say some words, or
Yeah, whatever you want to say, to open us up, or if you want to jump right in, or if you want to throw it back to me, it's up to you.
yeah. Okay. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. I do want to make sure that in this particular topic that you take the lead because you got the smarts when it comes to this one. So I definitely plan to chime in a bit, but yeah, go ahead. It's okay. It's all you.
So affirmative action. When I think about affirmative action, what comes to my mind is what the definition basically says, right? Is the efforts to improve employment, also education, and also give people more opportunities, right, to grow and to be complete members of society. Now, in our society today, and in America, what we've seen is we've seen a lot of like discrimination going on, a lot of inequalities happening, and excuse me, and as a result, affirmative action, affirmative action, yes, was put in place to try to balance everything, right? So one of the things I wanted to talk about was this sense um, of how you have it, how in the workplace there are some divisions, right? When you complete an application for work, they usually ask you your gender, they ask you your ethnicity, they ask you certain information uh, to have an idea on who you are.
Mhm.
And with that, sometimes what you see, it creates biases, discriminations, it creates inequalities. Because if you have a um, if you have an employer that is majority a certain type of employer, maybe Christian, or majority white, or majority black, or whatever they see themselves as, right? They identify themselves as. Um, in this country, especially because of the history of the country, it is hard for them to go out and actually add something new, bring someone who is not the same, who is different, that can bring a different view, a different outlook, different opinion. And in our climate right now, people have become more and more um, against someone that thinks differently than them, right? People nowadays are more like, okay, if you think like me, then we're cool. If you don't think like me, I'm gonna unfriend you on such and such platform, right? So, which is crazy. But the thing that I wanted to kind of like touch on, because like we've explained to you guys, this is kind of the beginning of our journey here, and we're not gonna be going too deep. But the thing I really wanted to touch on was um, this notion of in a workforce, this notion of, okay, we need a certain race or we need a certain gender. Okay.
Mhm.
Now I've had these conversations with people in the past where I've always said, okay, you have a push right now um, for women to uh, be represented, in numbers on when it comes to the workforce, which I think by now we have, it seems, hit a balance, but there's still this push going on as if we haven't hit this balance. And the push, I think, is not necessarily for the woman. It also goes against the woman because it makes the woman feel like she's not capable, or she is letting herself down by not competing. When in the past you had females, just happy, and glad to be a mother, right? I grew up with a mom who was a mom. I would go to school and they would say, "What does your mom do?" She's a mom. Okay, that was her job, a job title. So, so now we are seeing some inequities when it comes to, also inequalities when it comes to um, um, communities like the community that I'm in, right? The Black community or the Hispanic community. When a woman who is an African American woman, or just a woman in general, comes in, she is seen as a minority. And
Mhm.
you have these quotas in the job place of
Mhm.
the of how many people they need to pick, as a minority, right? Oh, we need 10% minorities. We need, 20% minority. So there's only 2 spots. And when there's only 2 spots, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick a Caucasian female, for example. And the question I had for a friend of mine, and we had these conversations in the past, was, okay, this Caucasian female gets the job because she is a minority. She's not really a minority, but she is a minority in the workplace, right? She gets the job over a, Hispanic lady, Hispanic man, black man, black lady, so on and so forth. And the question I had for my friend was also Caucasian, was, okay, are we to expect her to invest in a minority community once she gets this particular job, or we can't have any expectations? And the picture I gave him was that, so imagine her waking up in the morning and going to this new job, right? And when she's waking up in the morning, where she goes to Starbucks, and goes gets her coffee. I'm not gonna name anything. Goes and gets her coffee. She goes and gets a coffee. Where she goes to get her coffee is probably in a community that is mainly like her, right? That looks like her, and that's close to where she lives, right? And in this sort of separated country, people live in groups, right? They don't live as mixed as you would think. Oh, the US, let's all, there's everyone over there. It's all, kumbaya, and everybody's is dancing together. No, it's not like that. But so she wakes up next door to her house, majority Caucasian community is the Starbucks, that goes to work. Now, are we to expect her to wake up and go do her shopping in a majority Black community? No, right? So now what we're seeing is, okay, now that she is she's called a minority in this instance, she is reinvesting into a majority community. The minority communities are still being impacted, but the books show we have a minority person on staff. Therefore, we don't need any more minority person. And the flip side is, let's take a African American woman. She falls into 2 categories, right? She is not only Black, but she is also
female,
a woman, a female. Right? So when they hire her, when you look at the book, you don't look at who's actually working to look at like how their faces look.
No.
You look at the book. The book says we have African American person, and we also have a woman. They're not one and the same when it comes to the books, but in real life, it's one and the same. So that takes away for this Caucasian female, takes away from the Black male, Hispanics, female male, Asians, female male, and we can keep on going. So now that's kind of like what I wanted to discuss a little bit and put my 2 cents out there. I'm going to kind of throw it back to you. You can respond to some of what I said, or you can go into a completely other realm that I may have not thought about or that I didn't bring here for us.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing, Mackenzie. And obviously, when I'm looking down, I told you I'm writing notes and stuff so I can keep up with the ideas that you're sharing. And one thing that you said at the very beginning was regarding how they so-called level the playing field with affirmative action, right? So the concept and the idea is nice. Do I believe that it is fairly implemented? Absolutely not. For some of the same reasons you were saying, as far as the the white woman being hired, for this company to meet their diversity quota, but at the same token, the expectation is not the same. She's not really a minority just because she's a female. If she's a white woman, because yes and no, like you said. But anyway, let me go back. So leveling the playing field. So while in theory, the idea seems like a good way to level the playing field, ultimately, the way just life in general works, you can't really level the playing field when you have different contenders. It's similar to like with boxers in a weight class, right? So I'm not going to put a lightweight against a heavyweight because I know that playing field is not equal. It's not level because his abilities are more than this, their abilities are more than this person's abilities. So trying to level the playing field with various abilities or disabilities is like I said, it's a nice concept, but is it actually practical? I don't think so. And I say that because a black woman is not afforded the same opportunities as a white woman, whether it's the workplace or otherwise. And it's the same for male versus female. It's the same for black versus white. It's the same for old versus young. On all of those different categories, the playing field is not even. A white woman might clutch her purse walking through a majority black neighborhood, whereas a black woman is comfortable because those are her people. You know what I mean? So it's the same, they're not on the same levels. They're two different types. While you're still a female, you come from a different background, you have different capabilities and so forth. So yeah, I don't believe the playing field is ever level. One of the ones I wanted to talk about with affirmative action was age discrimination. And I say that because actually recently I've been spending significantly more time with my elderly family members. And I realized that once you get to this age, your schedule is not the same. Like you and I have schedules. We get out, we do this all day long. We have things to do. Once you get to a certain age, you're home. Like all you do, you got to make sure you take care of your meals, take care of your body, take care of your space, but you don't have any work, you don't have any obligations, you don't have any real responsibilities outside of your home. And so you're just kind of left with like, what do I do with my time? And I know with like, a lot of the stores like Walmart and so forth, they have the greeters. A lot of elderly people are in those positions, but it's not fair in the sense that the playing field is not level in the sense that you're going to put an elderly person at the door because you can't put them back in a stock room because an elderly person cannot lift, those 60 and 70 pound boxes. So it's nice. You want to hire them because they're older. You want to make sure they have opportunities because they're older, but their capabilities are not the same as a younger person. So it's actually never going to be a point where the playing field is level because it can't be. It's impossible. And that's not to say that older people are not capable. It's just more difficult. And one of the biggest things that most employers look for is efficiency. So what a 25-year-old can do in 20 minutes might take an hour for someone who's 65. So it's not going to ever get to a point where it's like, oh yeah, we're going to hire an elderly person just to meet that diversity quota. And at the end of the day, you might be setting yourself back by doing that. So yeah, the concept seems positive and inclusive, but practically it just doesn't seem like it can be this dream world that it may have been intended to create. where it's like, oh, opportunities for everyone. Oh, everybody, come on. Everybody ain't qualified. So, we can't just keep patting people on the back who's last place. And I don't mean that in a bad way. That came out wrong. That came out wrong. So like, for another example that I would use, and I jotted that down too, was like, when I was younger, and even before me, like, let's say when my parents were younger in school, it's like, if you win a prize, it's first, second, and third place, right? And those are the winners, and that's it. Now it's like, okay, we'll recognize first, second, and third, but we're also going to give awards to everyone else too for participating. And it's like, but they didn't win. So what are they getting? What are they getting their award for? I mean, that's nice that they participated, but the award is for the winners. The winners, worked significantly harder than the others and actually won it. So to try to do that all-inclusive thing, again, it's not leveling anything out. You're like patting someone on the back for not actually doing anything. Like a potato sack race, first, second, and third place. All the other people, they failed, they quit, they dropped out. Why did they get an award for, okay, yeah, you did the race, nice, good for you. I'm not giving you an award for it though, because you didn't win. So yeah, I don't know. I just kind of likened it to that, and maybe I'm rambling. But the idea behind the equality that's intended with it is not practical. That's the point I'm making.
Okay. I like that. I like how you put it, where the age matters. Age does matter. And one of the biggest things that you kept saying is the practicality of it, right? So it almost pushes me to ask the question, should we actually create as a society a group, an organization, an organization that would oversee the practical side of things when it comes to affirmative action? Because a couple years ago, people were getting to that place. Some people, not all people, some people were getting to the place where they were saying that we don't need it anymore. We don't need, we don't need it. And we end up seeing with Black Lives Matter movement, BLM, that we actually do need it more than ever before. Okay, because of things like you just said, because of things like the practicality. You're not seeing enough impact in the communities. That was the point. The point was, how can we impact these communities in a better way, make these communities actually rise from all the destruction, all, the abuse that they've had, that they've seen. How can we empower them to be better, to do better, to help each other, and to be full members, contributors of a society. And it has not materialized because, again, of the practicality. And I appreciate that. And again, guys, Shadia, do you have one more thing? Because we're gonna kind of close at this point, but I just wanted to see if you have anything else. I'm gonna close this out.
No, thank you so much. I don't. Thank you.
All right, guys. So we are going to close here. This is just, kind of quick runs and kind of quick ideas, opinions that we're throwing out there. Obviously, there's race, there's age, there's, disability, there's gender, sexual orientation, ethnicity, nationality, languages, size, shape, whatever that we can discuss. And we are more than happy and willing and wanting to discuss all of those different things with you guys as we move forward. And we will discuss some of these points in depth as we also do the research. But this is our kind of, baby steps, and giving you guys some love. Thank you so much. Here again, don't forget, this is a place where we love. It's out of love. No one here is speaking out of hate, or from a bad place. If you guys have anything that you guys want to recommend or write it down in the comment section. Please subscribe to help us out, grow the platform, and subscribe to also help us get guests. And if you guys have any kind of suggestions as far as guests as well, please let us know. And I always said, if one of you guys think that you want to be on here as well with us, and have a conversation, and respond to some of the questions, please let us know. Let us know in the comment section right there. Again, subscribe, give us some love, press thumbs up. You know how we need those thumbs up. It would help us so much. Thank you again. Enjoy your day, weekend, week, month, year. Stay positive. You are the master of your own self and your own future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
See you guys next time. Bye.